For many people, it's the idea of debt freedom. It's the idea of being able to control your finances, even if you're not debt free. It's the idea that they are in love with. It is not actually going out and doing the work that they are in love with. It's the idea of being able to communicate with a partner about your finances, the kids, or wherever the problems and issues are, but it can't actually be done. And I think this is something that, I don't know why it surprises me, but damn, if there aren't a lot of lazy people when it comes to managing their money. Honestly, if you could just say, yep, he's a liar, that's it. Well, then wash our hands and on to the next question, right? Otherwise, that'd be like someone saying, well, Carrie, she filed bankruptcy 2 times. Is she just a liar or is she just arrogant? Is she just a bad money manager or is she just careless and irresponsible? Right? Sometimes you have to take a question and you have to change the way you think about it, or you have to change the circumstance. I hope that makes sense. But it would be very easy for someone to look at me and say, well, Carrie, she's had 2 bankruptcies. Is she just stupid? Is she just stupid, or is she just, careless? You see what I mean? No. Have you sat down, took him by the hand and said, I'm scared. I'm afraid. I can't breathe. Because this might be a good time to do that, Emily. But he's saying they're middle class. No, they're not middle class. They're not middle class at all. Lady, you live in the woods, basically, with your husband and a baby in a camper. And from what I last saw, the outside scene, you had some picnic table or something turned over on its side. And you got a Coleman, what is it? It's the barbecue pit sort of thing that kind of looks like it's on its last leg. No, this ain't upper middle class. Or what was it he said? He said middle class. No. When you are $500,000 in debt, you are broke poor. I started to cry thinking about how my car just got repossessed. And then she says, but then remembered I no longer have a car payment, and she starts dancing. Now, I want to know, when did it happen that having your car repossessed was a party?
The probability of you getting this mess cleaned up increases the more you can shorten how long the pain is going to be.
The probability of her losing the job because now she's so mentally stressed is even higher than the probability of her being able to clean up this mess in 3 years. I hope that makes sense.
For your sake, I think you've got to reconsider how you can go make double what you make, or almost double what you make, and throw all the difference at it.
I think she should reconsider that and instead go work and she find work and life balance. Do that for 3 years, and there you go.
Because does it not sound pretty appealing to be out of debt in 3 or 4 years?
Doesn't it sound appealing to have your mind and your health all together? You see, Mr. Ramsey and we could go back and forth on this all day.
My wife and I, we both live in the neighborhood we live in an extremely beautiful, one of the top neighborhoods out here in Denver, Colorado, but it's to the point where it definitely is pricey.
So he's one of those people. Hold on. We live in one of the top neighborhoods. There's a gate that you can't get through unless you know someone from the inside. Yes, we are worthy of that. So that's where we live. We don't live with the commoners. I have here that you ordered a French fry, Coke, and filet of fish. All right, that'll be $4.99. Okay, out of 10. Oh, well, looks like the machine's not working today. No problem. I owe you $5.01. Oh, well, it looks like the cash register is not working. Hold on. Let me figure out your change for you. $10 minus $6.99. That's a 1. Carry down the 1. All right, it looks like we owe you $3.01. That'll be $15 out of 20. Oh, well, looks like the machine's not telling me what the change is. Okay. Do you by any chance have a cell phone? Because it has a calculator on it. Would you? Oh, you do? Okay. Would you mind typing in $20 minus Oh, you can't? You don't have a charger? Hold on. Anybody have an iPhone charger? Anybody have an iPhone? This is why you can pay on student loans for 10 years and you think you're all done with it. And you go, but how come my bill keeps getting bigger? Because income-based payments, the ones I know for a fact that millions and millions of people are breathing a sigh of relief when they get on it, unless you are a public service where that student loan is going to be forgiven tax-free, you will never get out of student loan debt making income-based payments. And after you've made your income-based payments for 20, 25 years, and remember, that's making payments, not putting it in forbearance, not putting it on deferment, okay? Not, putting it in default or anything else. That is after you have solidly made the 20, 25, even 30-year payment. Okay, I think the most of it is like around 20, 25. Then it goes to the IRS as an IRS tax bill. Too many people go and they think, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get a master's degree because it's going to pay me more money. They get the job pays them an extra $5,000 a year, maybe. If they're really lucky, it might even boost them up an extra 10. But the problem is you've already spent that pay raise. You spent that pay raise through the student loan debt you took out. And that pay raise is not ever a true pay raise till that student loan debt is taken out. Any debt that you had to take on so you could get that pay raise has to be paid back. 'Cause too many people will say, I got a pay raise. Okay, the master's degree was successful because I got a pay raise. It's not successful until that master's degree is paid off. Here's the other thing. If you're having to sit there and nag your freaking spouse to pay their taxes, not even the credit card bill, not even the car, not even the house, their taxes, and they choose not to pay those taxes, that's a huge red waving sign. That's a NASCAR flag waving in the air saying you don't want to be with this person. I think I'd rather be with a gambleaholic than someone who doesn't file their taxes. If I had to pick, do I want a gambleaholic or do I want someone who doesn't file their taxes? Would I rather have a shopping addict? Someone who doesn't file their taxes? Would I rather deal with an alcoholic than someone who doesn't file their taxes? Yeah, I'd rather deal with all three of those than someone who doesn't file their taxes. How many of us have been told student loan debt is good debt? How many of us have been told that, oh, take out student loans? Everybody takes out student loans when they go to college, when they graduate from high school. It's okay. That's good debt. That's the debt you want. Why do you want the debt that you can't go bankrupt on? I think they've got it confused. Credit cards is the good debt. You can go belly up on it. Student loans are the bad debt because you can't go belly up. You cannot file bankrupt on them. Think about that. You've been lied to. Yes, we have been lied to. Student loans are the bad debt. Credit cards are the good debt. We want to get really technical. Credit cards, cars, houses, that's the good debt. You can turn all that over. Yeah, it'll upend your life for, a few years, but you'll get over it.
He lives more like by his emotions. So like if we have a conversation or like I have a breakdown in front of him.
Oh God, the woman's breakdown. Look, again, it's not that I'm not sensitive to these things. I've just lived a different experience, so I see it in a different light. That's all.
And he has a conversation, then he apologizes. And
of course he's going to apologize. What's he going to say? I'm not apologizing. You'll keep the poor man up all night yabbering away. He just wants to sleep every now and then.
He goes into what I call like the puppy dog stage.
Yep.
And she goes into the crying stage. Between the two, they got a kennel.
I don't know what she's going to do.
It don't matter what she's going to do. She ain't married to you. She doesn't owe you. She doesn't have to tell you. No, she ain't got to do squat.
I did send her a certified letter about a month ago.
Why?
Before I called you guys and laid out kind of basically what I'm telling you guys. With the one page, very business-like.
Oh, buddy. Oh, we'll just go on.
What I paid. Your half is there, and I said that my son is basically broke now.
Is he in love with her still?
So what I would do is make a run at getting her to pay, but be mathematically and emotionally prepared to start writing the checks out of the 28 and out of the 10.
He already made a run, Dave. He wrote her a one-page heartfelt letter, which I'm sure was filled with stuff that in her head she was going, yeah, this sounds familiar. This is why we're not married anymore. Here's the other thing. If you're having to sit there and nag your freaking spouse to pay their taxes, not even the credit card bill, not even the car, not even the house, their taxes, and they choose not to pay those taxes, that's a huge red waving sign. That's a NASCAR flag waving in the air saying you don't want to be with this person. I think I'd rather be with a gambleaholic than someone who doesn't file their taxes. If I had to pick, do I want a gambleaholic or do I want someone who doesn't file their taxes? Would I rather have a shopping addict? Someone who doesn't file their taxes. But I'd rather deal with an alcoholic than someone who doesn't file their taxes. Yeah, I'd rather deal with all three of those than someone who doesn't file their taxes.
Not invest a dime until 61 years old.
My motto was, money's only something you need if you don't die tomorrow. And that was my thing. And we just, 2-3 years ago, we took 17 golf trips down to Virginia.
I bet Virginia loves you. I bet Virginia's got your plaque. When you enter the state of Virginia, it says, "Welcome Tom from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and wife." I'm the McDonald's store manager. I hear there's a problem with your Big Mac order. It doesn't look like the one in the pictures. Let me take a look. Oh, you're right. That definitely does not match what we advertise. You know what? I am so sorry for that inconvenience. You go ahead and keep that one. I'm going to make you a fresh one right now, and we're also going to throw in a free Big Mac meal on your next visit. I'm the store manager. There's a problem with your Big Mac? It doesn't look like it does in the pictures? Okay, let me take a look. Well, I know it doesn't look like the photo, but that is just a photo, and your Big Mac was actually made correctly. Or I can make you another one if you want, free of charge. All right, I'll go ahead and make you another one, but just keep in mind it's going to look just like this one. I'm the store manager. You're having a problem with the Big Mac? It doesn't look like it's supposed to in the photo? Let me take a look. Well, actually, it looks true to size. Haven't you ever heard of shrinkflation? You know, shrinkflation, where everything shrinks but the photo. Back of the line. Next. Getting out of the pity me party. Facing other challenges in life, seeing the other challenges other people have to go through, interacting with other people can get you off of feeling sorry about your situation and focusing on other people. Because it's so easy when you're mentally ill to just literally sit and wallow 24/7 about your mental health issues. You have to open up the window and allow some fresh air to come in. You got to open up the windows, open up the shades, step out. And I don't mean that in a cruel way, but I mean it in a life-saving way. It's very easy to wallow in your own issues. Sometimes the best solution, focus on someone else. Too many people go and they think, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get a master's degree because it's going to pay me more money. They get the job pays them an extra $5,000 a year, maybe. If they're really lucky, it might even boost them up an extra 10. But the problem is you've already spent that pay raise. You spent that pay raise through the student loan debt you took out. And that pay raise is not ever a true pay raise till that student loan debt is taken out. Any debt that you had to take on so you could get that pay raise has to be paid back. Too many people will say, I got a pay raise. Okay, the master's degree was successful because I got a pay raise. It's not successful until that master's degree is paid off. You know you're ready to get out of debt when you can look at all the stuff around you and all of a sudden that stuff that all that glitters look like gold and crystal, you realize it's just crap. That's when you are at the point. That is the walking in the door point that you realize, I'm ready to get out of debt. That car that you swore was the car of your dreams, that you set yourself up on for a $650 a month, or what was it one person had, $750 a month payment on. When you look at it and go, oh my God, this is just a bunch of metal. All right? When you can look at that house that you bought that is a ridiculous size for what you need, and you realize it's just drywall. I'm paying for a whole lot of drywall. That's the point where you start to begin, I want out. That reminds me, and I'll never forget the day. There was a day when I passed the mall and I didn't stop. It took everything I had in me to keep going and driving. And I had my little, I think I had my Nissan Sentra at the time. And I was trying so hard to stay away from the mall. And I was so tired. I was so tired of shopping all the damn time. It is exhausting to have a addiction. OCD, addiction. It's exhausting. And I was so tired. But I couldn't find a way to stop. And one weekend, just one weekend, and I've never forgotten it. It was a really nice day outside, middle of the afternoon. And I was on my, what I call another damn trip to the mall. And I told myself, you're going to drive by and you're not going to stop. You're just going to keep on driving. And that one day, I kept on driving, and the mall was to my right, and I passed the freeway exit. It was like a celebration that I had never experienced, probably before or since, in my journey of shopping addiction and obsessive compulsive disorder.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I help you? You'd like a Big Mac, a French fry, and a Coke. All right, can I supersize that for you? Wonderful. That will be $6.99. Stay right where you're at. I'll have your order to you in about 90 seconds. Take your order. All right, Big Mac, French fry, Coke. You want to supersize that? I'm supposed to ask you that. You do? Okay, well, that'll be $10. All right, here's your ticket. Go ahead and stand in the back of the line, and we'll get it out to you in a few minutes. You need something? You want to order? Well, there's nobody working the counter here, so you got to use that kiosk behind you. You don't know how to use it? Well, I'm running drive-through and cleaning, so just go ahead and go through the drive-through. You can't because you walked? Well, don't get hit when you walk through the drive-through.